Hey everyone, today we're going to review the Joovy Kooper X2 stroller and the Kooper RS2 stroller. Over here on my left is the Kooper 2, over here on my right is the RS2. For me and my wife, we are really looking for a side-by-side stroller. We have a 2.5-year-old daughter and a 7-month-old son. We live here in Southern California, so we're really looking for a stroller that we'd be able to take with us to theme parks such as, of course, Universal Studios, Disneyland, where we go quite frequently. We go to the LA Zoo, aquarium, and so on. And so our personal preference would be to have them side by side. Our son and daughter, we like for them to be able to interact. We like for our daughter to get in and out pretty easily. And they can kind of experience things together and kind of look at the same things. And it's a lot easier for me and my wife as well, getting them in and out. So for various different reasons, we were looking for a nice double side-by-side stroller. So I came across the Joovy, I ordered the Kooper, and then we got the RS2. So here they are side by side. And to be honest, I'll go ahead and say that our RS2 that we have is our first choice. The Kooper is a great stroller, but there are a couple things that I would consider if you can afford for the RS2. So the RS2 is probably anywhere from $100 to $200 more than the Kooper. But in our opinion, if that is within your budget, we would definitely recommend going with the RS2. And so I'll go over a couple things that are the same with the two strollers, and then I'll go over a few things that are different, that differentiates the RS2 from the Kooper, which gives it the edge in our opinion. So first here, this is the Kooper X2. This one right here is the forged iron color. So you can see here it's kind of like a gray on graphite sort of color. I chose this color because I thought it just looked a lot better than the original. But besides that, here it is, you can see. And then over here, the RS2 comes black on black like that, which I think also looks nice. So I'll turn them side by side so you can see the first difference, which is pretty significant. So in front of me is the RS2. You can see the big wheels in the back, and it has fairly big wheels in the front. And then just behind it, the Kooper. So this right here is probably the biggest difference that you're gonna see between the two strollers is the wheel size. So if we get closer here, you can see the Kooper, the wheel it's a nice size wheel, but when you compare it to the RS2, it's probably about half the size. You can see the RS2 is just significantly bigger in the back wheel, which does give it a smoother ride. When we put our daughter and son in this RS2, you couldn't even tell that they were really in there. The stroller, the way it felt when pushing it, when it maneuvered, it was effortless. And I'm not gonna lie, with the Kooper X2, it did make a difference when they were in there. I would imagine pushing up hills, if you're at a theme park, going uphill would probably be slightly more difficult than it would be with the RS2. The RS2, you could probably push them with one hand and it'd be effortless. So the wheel size definitely makes the difference. The other difference, which may be a big factor for us, it actually is, we have kids that are on the taller side, is the headrest, well, the backrest. So the backrest, I would say, is anywhere from 2 to 4 inches higher than it is on the Kooper. So our daughter's head is already kind of coming up above that. So if she falls asleep, we want her to be comfortable, and we don't want her to outgrow it. She's only 2.5, so imagine when she's 4 years old, her head's probably gonna be somewhere in this area and she's not gonna have any support. So with the RS2, you can see the backrest is a lot higher. So that's another thing to consider as well. The other difference is you can see here, as far as the height goes, the handlebars on the Kooper are significantly, well, not significantly, I'd say an inch or 2 to 3 inches at most, lower than the RS2. So the RS2, you're gonna have this leather feel and look to it. You can't see it, but on the back end it's stitched, which is nice, gives it a more premium feel. On the Kooper, it's still fine. It's more of a cloth material. Not sure as far as durability, this may be better in the long run. I can't really tell. We haven't taken the stroller out too much, but it does have a more premium feel on the RS2. And then it's a little higher, so that could be personal preference. I'm over 6 feet. My wife is 5'8", 5'9", so having a little bit extra height here is a little bit more comfortable than it being slightly lower, but again, that could vary depending on who's using the stroller. So height of the handlebar, height of the backrest, the size of the wheels, and then the smoothness of the ride is what gives the RS2 kind of a better feel. The other difference is the buckles. So on the RS2, it is a lot easier. They're magnetic. So this you could probably do with one hand. So right here, you can see they just kind of clip together. Boom, done. On this side, they would need to be buckled probably with two hands. It's just like any other buckle. This would go into the side here. So, of course, I'm holding the phone. I can't do this, but you could see that I did this one with one hand. So that's another thing. Is it worth $200, $150, $200 more? That's for you guys to decide. But if it's within your budget and you've already spent $400 to $500 on the Kooper and you just want to go another $100, $150 because you've already spent that and you don't want to have to buy another stroller in the future, I would probably just go with the RS2. I don't see any other reason other than the price to not get the RS2. Things that are the same. So these leg rests actually do fold out, which is nice. They fold up. So your kids can even do it. You don't need to push the buttons. To fold them back down, you need to push the buttons. But they're about the same length. The RS2, I wouldn't say that they're longer. So you can see here side by side, they're pretty much equal. So you're gonna get the same support underneath the legs there. They do recline, all the seats recline, and they recline the same. And then the other thing, which is really important, is the storage. So I was thinking that I might get more storage with the RS2, but which is great. The storage is great, but you get the same storage on the Kooper. So you're not gonna sacrifice any storage by getting the Kooper. You're not gonna be able to recline the seats anymore by getting an RS2. So those two are the same. You still have the pouch in the back and you still have the bottle or cup holder in the back. So that's the same with these two. As far as width goes, I was a little concerned that maybe the RS2 may be a bigger stroller and you won't be able to get in and out of certain doorways, but they are actually, I measured them, about 29.5 inches wide. So you're gonna have the same ability to get through in the same doorways with each stroller. So this stroller, the RS2, is just as wide as the Kooper. So there's no sacrifice there by getting the Kooper, which is a good thing for the Kooper and also a good thing for the RS2. I think, you know, the seats are wide enough to accommodate toddlers and young children. And so those are the same. So storage is the same, width of the stroller is the same. And so you have a lot of similarities. And again, the difference is just the wheels, the height of this stroller, the buckle, and you know, those are the advantages there. So what we'll do is I will fold these strollers down. The Kooper weighs 28 pounds. The RS2 weighs 31 pounds. And I'll be honest, when I folded them and lifted them, there was really not that much of a difference. I couldn't really notice the difference. So I would say, like for the baby joggers, there's the City Mini, and then there's the GT2. The GT2 is just night and day different. I think it's 36 pounds, and the baby jogger is like not even 28 pounds. That's a huge difference. These are only 3 pounds difference. I'd probably say that it's the wheels that are making up that 3 pounds. So it's really not that much difficult to carry the RS2. versus the Kooper, but we'll fold them down and we'll see what they look like side by side. So here are the two strollers folded down. On the left side, again, is the Kooper X2. On the right is the RS2. And you can tell here that they're just not that different. The wheels do protrude out a little bit more on the RS2, but it's not that big of a difference. And again, the weight is just not noticeable. I really wouldn't be able to tell which one's heavier unless I was really paying attention. But when you've got the kids and all that, you're not gonna be able to notice a difference. So we'll take a walk around. So again, here's the Kooper and the RS2 side by side. So they're very similar. I'll put them in front of each other. So we'll put the Kooper in front of the RS2, and you can't even really see the RS2 behind it because the footprint is essentially the same. So again, I would expect a bigger stroller that has bigger wheels and a higher backrest and a higher, handlebar to be a lot bigger. But if you walked by these strollers and you weren't paying too much attention, you really wouldn't notice which one's that much bigger. So my opinion, go with the RS2 if you're looking to kind of just buy the last stroller for your two kids that you're gonna need. But if you're feeling like you want something maybe more affordable, go with the Kooper. The Kooper's nice too. But up to you guys. Just wanted to give you a little comparison side by side. And I would say go with whichever stroller is more comfortable for you. One thing I forgot to mention earlier in my video is that they both come with trays, which is nice. You can actually unclip one side and it'll hang to the side. Your child can get in and then you can clip it back in. So they both come with these trays. You're not going to have to sacrifice there no matter which option you choose. But enjoy whichever option you go with because they're both great options.